Well, homies, we found ourselves in a predicament. We ran out of propane. Yep, we got an empty bottle here. And we got an empty wallet, so we can't even fill it. So what are we gonna do? Well, we still gotta keep cooking. And especially, we gotta be able to make coffee. So, heat and water is important. A couple of ways we can do it. We could heat up the wood stove on the inside, which is okay early in the morning when it's still cool outside. But man, it takes a couple hours to get that thing heated up enough to boil some water. And by that time, the cabin's about 200 degrees, even with the windows open, so that's not an option. Another option, cooking on a campfire, which we've been doing. Works fine. Still takes a while, and it's awfully smoky. Check this out.
Now, one way you can do it, you start a fire in your fire pit. Make sure you put something down so your good stuff doesn't get all sooty. But it works. It just takes a while. Awfully smoky. We got a better way.
So, we're going to use our wisdom and our technologies and come up with a better way.
To cook for free.
What's that way? Well, we're building a small rocket stove. Now y'all know we were about the rocket stoves around here. Rocket mass heaters. Why do we like them? Well, they're super efficient to use. They can burn on just about anything as far as sticks and twigs go. And they're going to heat up nice and fast so we can get some water boiling. So like I said, we can keep the coffee flowing. But to do it, we're going to need a few things. One, let's see, what do we got here? We're going to need something to make a mold out of, which I've got a couple of buckets here. This one's got a crack in the bottom, and that one's a little smaller. I think we're going to use this one. It's a good bucket, but we're going to have to sacrifice it probably to do this, because we might have to cut it off when we're done. So I think that's going to be our choice.
Get rid of that one.
Then we need another bucket for mixing. Mixing what, you say? Well, we got an old bag of mortar mix here. It's all broken apart, nice and dry. And we're going to use this.
Mix it with some water. Fill up this bucket. And do what we gotta do.
Now you know how rocket stoves work. In fact, I'll leave a little diagram right here. Alright, Nomies, for those of you who are familiar with rocket stoves, and maybe those of you who are not, we got a refresher, and we got an introduction. We're going to make it quick, so here we go. We're going to alter this design a little bit for a cook-style rocket stove. In fact, we're going to take this barrel off the top of it, and we're going to chop this feed tube off so we can just feed directly in the bottoms. And we're going to cross our fingers, and hopefully it works. We're going to find out. At least I am. You're going to be the second to find out. How about that? Okay, back to the video. Yeah, rocket stoves are based off of the Dakota stove, or a foxhole stove, which is basically a hole coming in the side with the chimney coming up, burns super efficient, and mostly no smoke.
So that way we can get a little fire going in there and get our hot water heated up, lickety split.
Plus cook some stuff. And the best part is,
no more propane.
Well, for now anyway. So, let's see. We need to build our chimney and our tube. So what I got is I got a couple things here to mold with. Some old Pringles cans. And I'll show you how we're going to do this here. But we're going to hook these together. And it's going to be the innards of our stove. We're going to have one coming in from the side of the bucket. Oop. One coming in from the side of the bucket. And then one coming up this way. We're going to connect them together. And that's going to build our tube for cooking. Well, what do you think, Ladybird? And Sweet Peas? Huh? What do you think about this? You're just happy that there's green grass to eat. Huh, ladies? Yeah. Alright, never mind them. We gotta get to work. What are we gonna do first? Well, let's get these hooked together like we want to. And we're gonna have to cut a hole in our bucket. So let's do that and we'll get back to you. Alright, Nomies, we got all our stuff gathered together here that we're going to need. For this part of it, we got some tape. I just grabbed this. It's metal tape. It's the first thing I saw. It'll work. So what do we got to do? We got to hook these together like this. And we also need to put a hole in our bucket somewhere around here. And this side hole is going to accept this. And this is going to make our feed tube. And then this, when it's attached to it, is going to make our up tube for our burn chamber. Or tunnel, or chimney, or whatever you want to call it. It's just going to work, that's all I know. So first things first.
Let's get a hole in here. Or at least marked out for a hole in there.
And I'm thinking, I want a couple inches of space underneath. Because it's going to get a little bit hot. And we're going to mark this out. Alright, we got it marked out where our holes need to go. Now, we need to fasten this to this. And I'm thinking, is I don't want this too long. And I want to leave this end on here to add support. So I think I'm going to cut this off. Yeah, I'm going to cut this off. Right about there. Let's do that. Put that in there. That's going to be just about perfect right there. So, what do we need to do? I need to get this secured on there. So like that. And we're going to use our tape. I said this stuff I wouldn't recommend using, but it's like I said, it's what I had laying around. Actually, I think it's going to hold up good against the water from the mortar mix. There we go. We got that all connected. Now we just got to get this in here. Which means we got to cut a hole. Oh, don't lose our pen. Alright, voila! Don't need that no more. There we go. We got our hole in there, which will accept this. Hopefully. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. And we want to make sure that's all centered up in the middle there. And this is going to be our feed tube. And there's our chimney.
So, let's get to mixing some mortar.
Alright, Nomies, here you go. I got some mortar mixed up here. Now it's a little thinner than you normally would for mortar, but I want it to flow in here good. So that's why I mixed it a little bit lighter. So let's see. Get rid of that for a second. I'm going to try first of all just pouring this directly in here. Maybe we can get you a better angle of what's going on. We're just going to take this.
Start filling this bucket up. You see in there okay?
It's starting to lift that up, so we may have to do something about that. A little more centered. Let's get the mortar in here and we'll figure that out. Probably just have to put a weight on there until it's right. Alright, looks like we don't have enough mortar mixed up, so we're going to have to mix up a little bit more. Put a piece of tape on here, tape it down, because this thing kept coming up, as you can see. So let's get that done, and we'll get back to you. I'm going to take a break here, because the Russians are coming! The Russians are coming!
The Russians are coming!
The Russians are coming! How are you, Constantine?
Pretty good. How you doing, man?
Alright, we're going to visit with the neighbor here for a little bit, and then get back to it. Alright guys, just to show you what we're doing here. We got that all filled up. Now when this dries, you can't just cook directly on this, because if you put a pot on there, it'll cover up your hole and it won't smoke. So you need something to hold up your pot. What I got is some pieces of fire brick here. And I'll put one in there. One in there. And one in there. And I'll smooth that out and we'll let this dry. Now you can do just about anything, just as long as it's not burnable. You can put some big old bolts in there, some pieces of rebar, but that right there should be enough to hold up a pot with enough space to let it burn. Now we'll come back when it dries. Oh, top of the morning, nomenclatures. It's a bit overcast this morning, and I need a cup of coffee. So let's see how our stove turned out. It rained a little bit last night, so I covered it up. I don't think it would get ruined, but haha, check it out. Everything looks nice and solid. Let's see, I took part of this out because I thought it was collapsing with the weight, but it didn't. So I'll have to get the rest of that out. First of all, let me set you up on the tripod here, and let's see if we can get this bucket off. Alright, there we go. That looks like a pretty good shot. Let's see what we can do. I'll leave that on there here for a second. Alright.
Let me bang on this a little bit, see if I can loosen it up. What do I got here?
Hopefully, we don't have to cut this bucket off, so we can reuse it again if this works as good as it should. So, you ready? Flip this thing over. Flip it over. Oh, feeling good. Feel Oh, it's starting to spit rain a little bit. Let's flip it back. There we go. All right, let's check it out. Look at that, nice and solid. No big air gaps or anything. We got this right here. Let's see, I'll go ahead and pull the rest of that out for now. And we got our other container in there. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get that out, so I think what we're going to do is burn it out. But to do that, we're going to have to poke a hole in here. So let me go get a knife, and we'll take care of that. Alright, got us a knife. We're going to cut this part off first. Maybe. It's a little wet. There we go. Yeah, that part's a little bit wet. But the main thing is I want to cut this open so that start fire now and burn the rest of that out if we can. Ding, just like that. That's good stuff. Alright, what else are we going to need? Well, I cut a little piece of metal here, and what we're going to do is we're going to put this in here like this, and the reason for that is, I'll show you. When you load one of these up, you keep feeding them full of sticks. You want to keep your airflow going. So if you put something like this in there, like that, you feed your sticks in here, and then air comes in here, and it keeps burning nice and good. So, alright, I think, man, I need some coffee, so let's get this thing fired up. But
we're gonna need some sticks.
Some of that, some of that. Let's see what else we got in here. Oh, there's a couple more sticks right there. Let's see. Some more sticks right there. That should be able to get us started. Trash out of the way. Got a few more sticks there. Right there. How about a piece of birch bark to get it going? Oh, need to go grab a lighter. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to put a piece of paper in here. Hopefully you can see this okay. And I'm going to take some of this birch bark, and I'm going to put it down the hole here. And some of you that have watched some of my other rocket stove videos have heard me say this before, but you want to make sure you get your chimney warmed up first so it flows properly like a chimney should. You don't want it to burn back this way, you want it to burn that way and up out of here so we can make coffee. So we'll start with that. Throw in a couple of sticks here, and let me grab you off the tripod here so you can see. And oops, sorry about that. We'll light her up. There she goes. She's rocketing already. Oh yeah. burning good. A little smoky. Not too bad. You see, fire's going good in there. Got some air coming in from underneath. Let's put the pot on here. Set the timer. See how long it takes to boil some water. Alright. Let's see how long this is going to take. Alrighty, nomies, while we're waiting on that to get going, let's grind up some beans. This is one of my favorites right here. Very affordable for good coffee. Yeah. Alright, nomies. Let's give her a shot here. Oh, she's hot. Just the way I like it. Oh, that's a good cup of coffee. What's even better is I didn't have to use any propane. We made coffee with sticks. Alright, what did I learn from this little experiment? Alright, I think my ratios for size are a little bit off as far as lengthwise on my chimney and my feed tube. I'm going to do a little bit googly or check my other notes and see if I can do a little bit better on the next version that I try on this. And so I think that didn't burn quite as hot as I liked. It was a little smokier than I liked, but we're on to something. It definitely took a lot less time than getting the bonfire going, getting the coals heated up, getting the pot over there. That usually takes about a half hour to 45 minutes. So, 10 minutes, mucho better. So, there you go. Now we don't have to worry about getting propane for a while. And that's a big savings for us. And anywhere we can save and live cheap on the homestead, we want to do it.
We want to share it with you.
So, leave your questions and comments
down in the bottoms.
Until next time. Never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete.
I'm a know-me, he's a know-me, she's a know-me, you're a know-me, wouldn't you like to be a know-me?
Put your comment down on the bottom.
Click the subscribe down on the bottom, click the like button,
Down on the bottom.
or make a comment.
Down on the bottom.
Peace out.
Alright, what did I learn from this little experiment? Well, I think my ratios are a little off on my feed tube, or my feed tube going in, and between my